It's now or never. Let's get it together.
Okay, we are on the ground today with Mr. Stephen Cook.
Hello.
He is a candidate for District 2. Mr. Cook, can you kind of tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, I don't really like talking too much about myself per se. I'd rather let somebody else do it. But so my name is Stephen Cook. I'm from District 2, grew up on Rosenwald, which is directly behind Scotlandville High School. I'm a single father, I have 2 daughters. My main concern is trying to bring and develop economic opportunities in District 2 and grow the community to the point of self-sufficiency. And so there are more things about me, more intricacies that you may find out as we progress along the roads, but that's in a nutshell who I am.
So what exactly made you decide to run?
So I've been planning this for like the past 6.5, 7 years. Growing up in that area, there wasn't a lot of economic opportunity, or rather even opportunity in general for the youth in that area. So me being a victim of that, not really having a way to matriculate or climb up the ladder to quote unquote success or achieve that American dream. Once I saw an opportunity for me to, I guess, establish that or pioneer that effort, then I began to make plans for that.
Okay, so you've mentioned the economical growth in the community. What other problems do you feel that this community is facing?
Well, everything stems from economics. So think about it this way. Issues with drainage, blighted property, abandoned buildings, high crime. All that stems from either lack of economic opportunity or a deficient education system, so to speak. But the two are correlated.
So how would you try to solve some of these problems?
Well, apart from having the council seat, I reached out to various grocery store chains and developers trying to lure them to that area. So initially what I'm trying to do is create about 200 minimum wage jobs, jobs paying with a yearly salary of about gross $18,000 per year. Times 200 is like $3.6 million that's infused into that community. So now you have that money circulating in that community, and you partner with the VOTEC system, trade programs. You're going to have a gap of individuals from the age, say, 20 to 30 who are already out of high school and they're kind of in limbo right now. Well, those individuals, you got to get those individuals working. The problem is you can't convince an individual to work a minimum wage job for the rest of his life. So that's what the partnership comes from with the apprenticeship programs. Like, for example, I spoke to a Ms. Wallace over at the Stuck Corporation. They have a pipeline coming through Louisiana's 60-year project. And so we're, I guess, at this point trying to plan or strategize a way to put those programs at the high school level and also in some of the community centers. And that way, those trade programs can transfer over into career-oriented jobs. Okay,
that's really in-depth. I hadn't ever considered anything of the sort, to be honest, so I like that idea.
Okay.
So how would you describe yourself as a leader?
I would call myself a passive leader in the sense that my job is to identify, first of all, identify my weakness, all right? And then from there, I surround myself with people that will support that. But you have to identify what a person's strength is. And so, for example, you may have an individual, they may be a good talker, or they may be well organized, or they may have certain skills that relate to strategy. But then you have to cultivate that gift and then figure out where to position that person where they can succeed. And so, as far as leadership, everybody has a place. It's sort of like a football team. You have the quarterback, the wide receiver, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if the quarterback does the receiver's job and vice versa, you're not going to win too many games. But if everybody understands their role, and when they practice before the game, they train for their position with the overarching or overall view of how the team operates, then you succeed. And so I take that same approach as it relates to leadership in this capacity.
Okay. And so I noticed in your platform you mentioned partnering with other organizations. Can you tell us about some of those organizations? I think you just mentioned one.
Well, yeah, so Stuck Corporation is one. I've reached out to Publix, Kroger, and a couple other developers. We're in communication right now. Nothing's concrete. I've also reached out to various vocational programs. Again, nothing is concrete. Right now, we're just starting the strategy part of the conversation. A lot of people want instantaneous results. That's not going to happen. You have to really plan things out. You know, figure out what can go wrong. Although you can't necessarily keep things from going wrong, you still need to have a concise and clear understanding of what could go wrong. Then you have to figure out what are your strengths. You know, how can you build on those things? Are you strong enough to move forward, or do you need to strengthen yourself either with strategic alliances, or is it a financial deal? And so just really trying to navigate, you know, what's the proper course of action, how motivated are the people at present, you know, would it take 6 months, 3 months to get the people motivated, get them on board? Does that relate to a media campaign, a door-to-door canvassing event? So things like that, we have to strategically organize ourselves around, then we move forward.
Okay, and so do you have any other upcoming fundraisers or anything you care to mention?
No, so at this point, and it's unfortunate, there's 7 other individuals, 8 total in the race. So having a fundraiser at this point, I feel that it's not going to be a successful event, because for the most part, you have to win by 51% of the vote. And so it's kind of hard to convince a campaign contributor to, you know, donate to a campaign this early on. So I'm hoping it doesn't go to a runoff, but just being realistic with that many people, more than likely it will go to a runoff. And so I won't have any fundraising efforts until after the primary election. Now, that does not mean you cannot donate to the campaign. I just will not set up any events on my own. If someone wants to throw a fundraiser for me, I'll be more than happy to attend that event.
Yeah, that sounds smart. Okay, and finally, since this is Swagger Magazine, and today we're talking about your swagger, can you describe your swagger for us?
You describe it. You looking at me?
Wow, I've never had to do that before. Well, you came in kind of matching the colors of the Romance Cafe, so I like that. You seem very laid back, and you did describe yourself as being passive, so I don't know. What's your zodiac sign?
Scorpio.
Oh, y'all jealous.
So I'm passive aggressive, actually.
Y'all might be more aggressive.
Yeah. Don't tell nobody though.
Okay, well, thank you for giving us this time, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you much.
On the grind. I'm on the grind. Hold up. Let's go. The time is now or never. Let's get it together, y'all. However, I'm on the grind.